Ohineben Sports 84. Anthony Joshua awaits Klitschko on decision on a rematch. Anthony Joshua is waiting for Wladimir Klitschko's decision on whether to take up his rematch option or not. That is according to Eddie Hearn, the promoter of Anthony Joshua. This is coming in the wake of Anthony Joshua's knockout victory over Wladimir Klitschko. A fight that took 11 rounds to end. Anthony Joshua eventually gets in the knockout in the 11th round. And in the process, he got knocked down himself and looked like he was ready to be taken out. But he was able to find a second wind and get a knockout and claim the victory. So this is what they are waiting for. If Klitschko doesn't take up his rematch option, they will have to fight their IBF mandatory challenger. That will be Kubrat Pulev. So that is the fight for Anthony Joshua if Klitschko doesn't take up a rematch option. But I will find it weird if Klitschko doesn't take up this rematch option, because looking at what transpired in the fight, his chances of winning the second fight is very high. Looking at what transpired, his chances of beating Anthony Joshua is very high, and alongside making another huge sum of money. Because I'm reading he made in the region of 20 million pounds or so, upwards of that figure. That's a huge payday for a boxing event. So if you should think about the money aspect, I don't know why you will reject a rematch. Because the worst case scenario, if you lose, you still make another 20 mil. And you can retire on a high, much higher note, if it's not already high. So that is the situation. I was really not convinced with Anthony Joshua's victory. I will probably be alone in this, but I was really not convinced, because watching the fight, Anthony Joshua is looking really shaky out here. Very, very shaky. Because if you are rocked, fighters get rocked all the time, but it shouldn't take you 4 rounds to recover. That is dangerous. Because Anthony Joshua was rocked in the 6th round, and this guy had nothing to offer 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th round. That is just too long of a stretch to take to recover from a boxer rocking you. Klitschko for some reason couldn't take him out. When Anthony Joshua was clearly there for the taking, he had nothing to offer. He was doing virtually nothing during those rounds. Virtually nothing. So he he bid his time, and he realized Klitschko wasn't offering anything, and he was able to regroup and find a second wing to knock him out. But if Klitschko were smart enough, he would have knocked Joshua out. It was clear. It was really obvious for them to see. It was really clear, really obvious. So if Anthony Joshua has a way of avoiding this rematch, it will suit him better, because his chance of losing is really high. Very, very high. I didn't expect this sort of performance. Other people see the performance as him having the tenacity and the willpower to recover. But how many boxers are you going to face who allow you to recover for 4 rounds? How many top boxers are going to get you in that situation and allow you to recover for 4 straight rounds? You cannot recover quick enough. That's not going to happen. So that tenacity is because of Klitschko. That gave him that room to have that sort of comeback, and that is tenacity, because it took him way too long. Because a boxer who is in your prime, that this is the time to shine. You see, this is your graduation day. This is your outdooring. This is the time that you are supposed to take over the world, and you are putting on such a performance. It's not good enough. I really like him as a boxer, and I was thinking, having high hopes for him, but this sort of performance is not good enough. Klitschko is an old man who has been out of the ring for over a year. He's an old man. Even though he's skillful and experienced, he's still old. And he's been out of the ring for a long time. And he rocks you and you can't recover for four or so straight rounds. That's not a good look. So I really don't know what he needs to work on. It seems his chin is somewhat suspect. Anthony Joshua's chin seemed to be suspect because he was rocked by Dylan White as well, and he almost knocked him out. He rocked him badly. I think the Klitschko one was even a knockdown. It wasn't even rocked. He struggled to recover from a knockdown. That was the reason why he couldn't recover. It was a knockdown. He struggled, really struggled to recover from the knockdown. So Anthony Joshua has his work cut out. If I was him, I wouldn't take this rematch because it'd be a dangerous fight for him, considering what happened in the first fight. Klitschko, with his experience, can easily make the adjustments and get a victory. And I realized his brother Vitaly was very annoyed and very upset with his brother's performance, with Vladimir's performance, because he knew that Joshua was there for the taking, and for some reason Wladimir Klitschko wasn't taking it. Everybody could tell that Joshua was struggling. After the knockdown, he was struggling really badly to recover, but Klitschko couldn't capitalize on it. So those are my thoughts. I don't think Joshua fighting Klitschko is a good idea. It will suit him better to look in a different direction. But if I was Klitschko, I'll be all out for this rematch. I'll not even think of it. You should take the rematch in a heartbeat, because there's nothing to lose. You have a lot of money to gain and a good chance of avenging your defeat. So those are my thoughts on the issue. Thank you for your time. Catch you on the next video. Bye for now.